First, I always greet the customer in a friendly way, regardless of their attitude.
Hi, how are you today?
Well, my day is going downhill fast, thanks in no small part to you guys.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Here it is. So, I got stuck making the arrangements for the finals, and you guys messed up the reservation.
Next, I try and connect in some way. You know, find some common humanity.
Wow, it sounds like you really have your hands full.
You have no idea. I don't know what I was thinking when I agreed to handle.
Finally, really listen to the customer. Give them your full attention. Customers need to feel like someone is listening and understands their problem.
But we only ended up using the field on Saturday. So now I've got to go.
I've found that when I treat the customer with respect, regardless of how they're treating me, that goes a long way towards calming them down.
You have no idea how these people get about this stuff.
Well, it says here that you reserved the field for 2 days over the weekend, but I will be more than happy to research this and see what we can do for you.
Well, I don't have time to wait around here all day.
Well, I'll tell you what. How about you leave me your telephone number, and then I can call you back later this afternoon once I've had a chance to look over it?
All right. Okay, let's do it that way. I'll just call me on my cell phone.
Great. Now, why don't you just write your telephone number here, and I will call you back this afternoon as soon as I get any information.
Okay, I get it. It's hard to argue with someone who's being nice to you, right?
Being kind and attentive usually disarms an upset customer right off the bat.
But what if your prevention strategy didn't work? What if being civil didn't calm her down?
Well, then I might have used one of the 3 breakthrough techniques we use here.
Breakthrough techniques?
Yeah, hasn't anyone told you about those yet?
No.
1, transfer the customer.
2, take a time out.
3, draw the line.
Exactly. So if being polite hadn't calmed my customer down, I could have used breakthrough technique number 1.
Okay, breakthrough technique number 1.
I don't think you understand. I don't want you to call me back later. I want you to give me a refund right now. You think I have time to come back here later and deal with your mistakes? You've got to be kidding me.
I'll tell you what, let me ask you to speak to my supervisor. I'll get it for you right away. It will just take a moment.
I should hope so.
Breakthrough technique number 1 works like magic. The customer almost always calms down in order to appear reasonable to the next person who steps in.
Hello, I'm Leslie Jennings. I understand you have a question about a field rental charge.
Yeah, well, as you can see from the receipt, I got charged for 2 days, but I only ended up needing the field for 1 day.
Well, the weekend rate usually includes a commitment to pay for both days, but let me just take a look here, okay?
Even if the same conclusion is reached, the customer is much more likely to accept it when having it confirmed by someone else.
So you transferred the customer to someone else?
Right. And the best thing is this works if you ask your manager to help or you transfer the customer to a coworker. Making that fresh start tells the customer that they're getting the attention they want.
Well, next time I can't find Leslie, I'll call you in to handle it.
Anytime. I wish I thought to call you last week. Oh, I had a real doozy.
What happened?
This is Karen Davis with the City Graffiti Hotline.
Hello. Karen, is it? My name's Al Goodson. Listen, I got a bill here. Some bozos from the city came and painted over some graffiti on my property on Elmwood Street. And not only did they use the wrong color paint, now they want me to pay for this shoddy work.
Step 1. Show customers that you care. Use words and tone of voice to demonstrate you recognize the situation really matters to them. Okay, I appreciate your calling, Mr. Goodson. I can tell that you have some concerns. I'd like to see if I can help you resolve this.
You bet I have some concerns. The city had no right to do this. It's my wall on my property, and I decide when and how it gets painted.
Next, apologize if appropriate. Apologizing is easy to do, and it goes a long way in addressing the customer's issue. Okay, Mr. Goodson, it is possible that the city made a mistake, and if we did, I'm very sorry.
You did make a mistake. Let's just get that straight.
If apologizing isn't appropriate, an expression of empathy will serve the same purpose. The next step is to listen closely and begin asking short, guiding questions. This helps change the customer's orientation from expressing anger to helping you find a solution. Okay, Mr. Goodson, when did the graffiti first appear?
Let me see. I first noticed it last week, I guess when I opened up Monday morning.
By involving the customer in the investigative process, they're often distracted from their anger. Okay, and when did the city paint the wall?
Must have been this morning. Looks like it only took 10 minutes. The problem is they didn't use the right color paint.
After I focused on the facts, I try to agree with something. I agree that matching colors is very important. Usually our crews do a pretty good job of that.
My 4-year-old would have done a better job of matching the colors.
Taking these steps usually puts the customer in a better mood and makes them more willing to listen to whatever I might have to say. As you may know, Mr. Goodson, the city implemented a new anti-graffiti program just a few months ago.
Well, I know that now.
I'm sorry for the inconvenience that this has caused you. Our 7-day rule states that property owners are responsible to paint over graffiti within 7 days, or the city has to step in. We find that if it's not covered quickly, it encourages more. This has been very effective.
No, okay. I was gone for a while. Maybe I just lost track of time.
Okay, so I show I care. I apologize if appropriate. I ask short guiding questions, and I find something to agree on.
That's right. And another important thing to remember is that until you research it, you don't know whether the customer's problem is our fault or theirs, and you don't know what you can do to help them.
I guess even if it is their fault, you have to explain it in such a way that you let them down easy.
Exactly.